Hello everybody. Sorry about the sunglasses, but man, it's a bright one today. Asbestos Pete says he was not around when the 60s revolution hit America, and he wants to know what happened back then that brought all the filth and corruption on the USA. He says that as a young American, he feels like he's living in a trash compactor and the walls are closing in. Well, Asbestos Pete, they are closing in, and it started with the 60s revolution. I was a little boy back in the 60s, and I remember the unwashed, drugged-out hippies, and even as a child, I knew there was something wrong with those people. America had been dragged through a horrible war in Vietnam, a war the USA could have won hands down, but liberal Democrats in Congress forced American troops to use foolish tactics and to constantly give back enemy territory that they had fought for and won. In a nutshell, the treasonous snakes of Washington, D.C. forced us to lose the Vietnam War. The USA could have had a tremendous victory over the communists in about 2 years probably, but because of Democrat treason, the war dragged on for 10 long years, resulting in 58,000 dead Americans. The American people were totally demoralized. And while the treasonous Democrats were sabotaging the U.S. military, Soviet communists were infiltrating our colleges and universities to launch a massive anti-government peace movement, which was really just a massive revolution against everything American. Tune in, turn on, and drop out was one slogan, and students were pumping themselves full of LSD, heroin, etc. Another slogan was, "Hey man, if it feels good, do it." And they engaged in sexual orgies where every moral law was demolished. There was open disrespect for law and order. Police officers were called pigs. The Black Panthers arose to kill cops and stir up racial hatred. The 60s revolution was a coordinated effort to pull the USA away from her Christian Judeo values and decency. And simultaneously, the atheists launched an all-out assault on Christianity by finding some liberal activist judges who were willing to violate law, precedent, and all of American history to declare prayer in the Bible to be illegal in public schools. America's moral compass was smashed, and the USA has been spiraling downward ever since. That, in a nutshell, is what the 60s revolution did to America. That was what yanked America off the one nation under God highway and set us firmly on the highway to hell. And many of those dirty, acid-dropping communist hippies of the 60s are now wearing business suits and getting reelected to Congress over and over as Democrats. The 60s war on America never ended. They just moved from pot, smoke, and love-ins to LGBT and reparations. And that, Asbestos Pete, is the 60s revolution in a nutshell. Those of us known as conservatives are trying to pull the USA back onto the path of decency. The left are hell-bent on continuing the 60s revolution until the USA is just another communist, socialist pigsty. This is Wild Bill for America. Thanks for watching, and America bless God again.